Fit for Life Radio, episode number 162. Your hosts, Gary and Will.
Hello.
We're recording this last episode of the year. You'll be hearing this
First episode of the year.
January 3rd. So, today we are going to go over, we ran one of our free nutrition challenges in our Facebook group, and we just finished up. So we thought it would be fun to talk about some of the results.
Yeah, what happened?
What people learned, the takeaways. Because as always, it's as we all know, we know kind of the stuff to do. It's somewhat simple, but it doesn't mean easy. And every time we do one of these challenges and learn, it's a reminder more and more of how it's just being mindful.
It is. Just some awareness.
Yeah. Most people just snack too much and we get unmindful of things. And it's so easy. What people have to understand is we kind of have, we have the amount of energy intake we need, aka calories, to maintain our weight. And if you could go over 200, 300, 400 calories a day, and that's enough to definitely not lose weight, prevent you from losing weight, and B, cause you to gain a couple pounds a year, every year, right?
I mean, look, I don't know if you've done the math, but if you eat an extra 300 calories a day, and this is just rough math, this is not like this is going to happen, but that's basically like 4 pounds a year.
Yeah.
And if you think like 4 pounds every year, that adds up.
And then those calories, that's a couple handfuls of almonds, a couple handfuls of walnuts, a couple handfuls of M&Ms, couple handfuls of sour gummies, it's basically a couple handfuls of Fritos.
A couple handfuls of anything that's calorie dense.
And when we think, it's just a little handful of this here or there, it's not at mealtime, we're just grabbing it, we can tell ourselves a story that we're not eating that much, right?
And we tell ourselves that story multiple times a day, every day.
So, with that, let me find this post here. We had, trying to find my recap post. Let's see, newest posts. So we have little exit surveys, and everyone fills them out because we'd have a little prize, and they record their starting weight. We have people during the challenge. They're basically checking in every day with an anchor, one of our anchors. We have 4 anchors to do, so they could either do them all or just do one, but it's to weigh in every day, eat the template that we provide, so it's kind of a base of whole foods, supplies an optimal amount of protein, and then any extra calories, quote unquote fun calories, we give them like a 300 to 400 calorie budget for fun calories. So to track those foods, those fun calorie foods. So pretty simple. And then they post every day that they did an anchor. They can post a screenshot of something. And this time around, so we did this right after it started, right after Thanksgiving, and then ran up until it was 25 days, basically up until right before.
Was it the day before Christmas or something?
Like that Thursday or something. And so remember, this is right smack dab in the middle of the holidays. We did that on purpose. But ultimately, we ended up having 67 people see it through. So start it and then end up filling out the little exit survey at the end. It's a good chunk. And combined, there was 243 pounds lost. For an average of almost 4, technically it was like 3.91 something.
Like, that's legit though.
Yeah, so 3.9, 4 pounds per person on average, a pound a week, which is perfect. You do that for a year.
52 pounds, baby.
And this is the middle of the holidays, right?
Which is arguably the hardest time to not gain weight.
Yeah. And so, it was awesome. And of the 67 people, and some people, their goal it's the holidays. They normally gain weight, right?
Like, I just want to maintain. 0.
Yeah, was just to maintain. So, and out of it, we had only had 4 or 5 people who gained weight, but it was no more than 1 or 2 pounds. and everyone else maintained or lost. And it really just came down to it helped bring awareness, right? Again, you could have anything you wanted every day as long as you portioned it right for your fun calories. So nothing was off limits.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Just awareness.
And I wanted to go through the X exam forms. There's a lot of good takeaways. So we would ask people, what was their weight at the start and currently, then what was their biggest win from the challenge, and what was their biggest aha moment from the challenge. So I think those would be fun to share for a lot of people who are, hey, here comes a new year. You're ready to embark on something, and just to realize how it's just about progress over perfection and simple things. So, we'll just kind of go through a few of these, and hopefully you'll catch on to some themes. But this person here lost 6 pounds, and their biggest win was staying consistent, which allowed them to lose weight. Their biggest aha moment was, I need even more protein than I'd been eating. So we actually try to get people around 100 because most people eat way less than that, like 50, 60. But this person had usually been around 100, but they bumped it up a little more to around 140 and noticed that it was better for them, right? So that's a great aha moment or something that clicked that, hey, let me prioritize a little more protein.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and their goal was weight loss. Then, let's see, this one here was 3 pounds lost, and their biggest win. Oh, one of the other anchors we have is the daily walk. So they realized that in order to, it was daily walk, or I think we had more specifically at least 6,000 steps. So 6,000 plus steps a day. And what they learned was in order to get their steps in, they had to add a daily walk.
So they had to program it in to make sure they got it.
Yep. And then it forced them to get up and move almost every day.
See, that's cool.
Yep. And then they mentioned they normally run for exercise some days, but enjoy trading that in for early morning walks with their dog. And their biggest aha moment was, I really realized how some food makes me feel in a negative way. I indulged more than usual because of the holidays. I had a lot of dairy and added sugars, which I had been pretty much cut out of my diet. My sleep and energy levels had been way off. So, yeah, they notice those things, right? And here's the thing. Think about this. If you're not weighing in, if you're not tracking these things, they could have just been like, man, I felt way off. Oh, my gosh. I mean, they even said it here, right? I indulged more than I should have during the holidays. But here's the thing. They lost 3 pounds.
Still down, baby.
Mm-hmm. That's why we are big fans of weighing in every day. And then really what you're tracking is you take the daily weight, add it up over the course of a week, get the average for the week. Then those weekly averages are what you're tracking and comparing over time.
Exactly. Instead of just the day-to-day or every Sunday morning or, you know, if you do it once a week, it can just really skew
because
results.
Because you are going to have fluctuations. So what if one of the random days you weigh in happens to be a day where your weight's up 3 pounds?
Then you're going to think, I gained 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong?
And screw this diet. When the reality is, you're actually been down. It's just one of those days.
Yeah, you're just holding a little more water, a little more food, and whatever.
Or
have those.
Or the flip side, you weigh in on your random day, and it's down a bunch for whatever reason, 3 or 4 pounds, and then you think, ooh, maybe I'll have some extra treats, right? When the reality is like not that either. So
like you're a little dehydrated and you didn't eat as much for dinner, whatever, and that skewed it too.
Yeah.
So more data is just helpful, and that's why we like the daily stuff.
Let's see here. Find a good detailed one. Here's one. Here we go. This person lost 6 pounds over the 25 days.
That's legit.
Their biggest win from the challenge was the daily weigh-ins. I don't always enjoy what the scale says, but it reminds me to try to stay on track, right? So it's a little check-in. And then they mentioned their biggest aha moment. I need to pay more attention to my hunger cues, so I don't overeat. and they've been paying more attention to portion. So again, awareness,
Love
right?
it.
You're actually stopping to notice these things.
Instead of bulldozing through food
Mhm.
without really thinking about,
Yep.
did I need to eat all of that or was I really hungry?
Yep. And whoopsie.
You ruined everything.
Here we go. This person lost 12 pounds, and that was their biggest win from the challenge. Their biggest aha.
Damn.
Yeah, 12 pounds.
Woo!
So, which can, if you have more weight to lose and
Yeah.
you're just starting, you're going to lose a lot more up
bigger
front.
chunk.
So, you never want to chase that pace, but it's possible.
It happens.
It can be okay. So, their biggest aha moment from the challenge was how much their weight fluctuates from day to day, and hence needing to look at averages over time.
Boom. What we just talked about.
And again, think about this. If they were randomly weighing in and first week or so, there's a big fluctuation up, they may get frustrated and quit, right? Because because they were committed to the process, again, they lost 12 pounds over this time. But noticed one of the things, again, that stood out was their weight went up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But again, over time, the trend down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, good takeaway for everybody is your weight always will fluctuate as a living, breathing human being. An eating human being, it just always will, and it's fine. Like, there's nobody that stays at the same exact weight.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. So just know, if you do see the fluctuations, it's just completely normal.
Yeah. And then this person here lost 3 pounds, and a big win was tracking their fun calories, making sure to get protein with each meal. And they noticed that helped them contribute to fullness and satisfaction. And their biggest aha moment, weighing daily is important to stay focused and on track. I used to weigh once a week. However, it led to less accountability. It's easy to get discouraged and lose focus without the daily weigh-in. So
I'm
again,
telling you,
another
man.
one. There we go. Again, top of mind, right? It's a tool. It's
a little
quick,
bit of
it's easy.
self-accountability.
Think about it. Think about when we try to do this stuff, how we can talk ourselves. Because, yeah, even though the gym is still 45 minutes in a car ride, right? Eating better, still meal prep, shopping. So in our mind, we can build it up and make excuses for things like that.
Yeah.
But really, what's the excuse for stepping on a scale in your own home in the morning that takes 15 seconds?
Yeah, nothing.
It's free, and it takes 15 seconds. So it's the ultimate accountability. And again, it is just a number. There's a lot of emotional attachment. That's kind of the devil's advocate to this. But the reality is, and we've noticed, by not using it, you're actually giving it more power. So you need to do it every
you're
day
avoiding it.
to kind of be able to treat it like just a number and the data that it is.
Usually people that maybe do have some apprehension or a little anxiety around it, they settle into it after kind of busting through that initial bit of being uncomfortable with weighing every day.
Yep.
So if you are a little apprehensive about it, like I'd encourage you to try it and do it for 2 weeks and see how you feel after that. Because I guarantee you'll start to feel a lot better about it when you really see how it works.
Yeah. Next one we have, they lost 7 pounds, and their biggest win from the challenge was feeling comfortable in my clothes and seeing my waist again.
Ooh, love it.
So yeah, that was big for them. Was actually noticing those changes. And typically when you lose if you're doing it right, appropriate calorie deficit, exercising, you normally lose about an inch around your waist for every 5 pounds on the scale. So this person lost.
So that would be noticeable.
Yeah, 7 pounds. That's like an inch and a half from your waist. Like you're gonna notice that. So
yeah, that's when people are like, yeah, my clothes feel looser. Like that's what it is.
Then what was their biggest aha moment from the challenge? By tracking the fun calories, it felt like I had a little bank account. I tried not
love that.
I tried not to overdraft. By tracking, I had to really think about what I was eating and how it fit in my budget. If I'm able to do it again, I'm going to try to save some so I can have a better deficit. So she's saying in the future, either, which we mentioned, you could say, so instead of having that little 400 calorie budget every day, you could save it
having something for
and
the
have
weekend.
a bigger one for like a weekend meal or something like that. So kind of next level.
Which can work for some people.
Yeah, it can
especially
just,
more social people
yeah.
that like to go out.
It can just go haywire more,
Yeah.
right? People save up, and then they have all these calories, and then they end up binging basically, and then can't stop.
Yeah, so definitely you got to keep it in check.
So we normally recommend starting out. It's better to have the daily, and try to have a food that you literally would make off limits that you think is this bad food, because then you can see for yourself if you kind of follow the whole plan and challenge and template we set up, you'll lose weight eating this food you thought was a problem, right?
A bad, quote unquote, bad
and you
food.
get to have it every day, and then you'll also, similar to the scale, you'll then have it every day and realize you'll eventually run into a day where you choose not to have it, and
because you're fine.
That's powerful. This thing that maybe had a grip on you, and now you're literally, I'm good.
Yeah.
So let's see.
These are fun.
All right, this person here lost 3 pounds. Their biggest aha moment was allow yourself fun food a little every day, and deprivation never served. I swear we did not plan what we're saying with this. I'm just randomly clicking through, but yeah, like we just said, this person's biggest aha moment was, there you go, allow a little fun food a day. Deprivation never surfaces.
That's such a strong word. Deprivation.
I know. If I told you who it was, then you know.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Here we go. 2.5 pounds lost. Their biggest win from the challenge was knowing that my weight will fluctuate, sometimes daily, and it's not a big deal. It's the average weight over time that is more realistic. Yep. Their biggest aha moment from the challenge, eating more can be good. And so that one thing we talk about in the challenge is eating more food can mean eating less calories.
If it's a lot more volume.
Eating less food can mean eating more calories. And it's the eating less calories that we're after if you're trying to lose weight.
Yep.
The easiest way to do that, the easiest way to eat less calories is to eat more food. Like Will just said, if you choose food that has more volume of food volume for less calories, you actually end up eating more food.
Yeah.
So this is so what she experienced here, this person, was because of the template that we have them, again, hit. It's very whole food based, and it keeps their calories low, but it's, for a lot of people, when they start, they're like, this is a lot of food. I'm worried or scared or whatever. So again, eating majority whole unprocessed foods, focusing on protein and veggies is going to make it much easier. Here's a good one. This person lost, well, they're all good, but this person lost 2 pounds. And their biggest win was, it was easy for me to adapt to the challenge. Healthy eating has become an easy lifestyle for me. I know what to do. I just sometimes need accountability to do it. And their biggest aha moment, I didn't binge on sweets or junk food at all during this challenge because I made trade-offs and stuck to the 200 to 400 calories per day of fun foods.
There you go.
Man.
Got to check the box and didn't overdo it.
Here's a good one as well. We had a couple people comment on this one, on this specific aha. So this person lost 4 pounds. Their biggest win was consistency for breakfast. I made sure I ate breakfast every morning, and it had 2 proteins and a fruit. So by 2 proteins, we kind of had, again, with the challenge, the template, things portioned out, and we purposely try to get people to have 100 grams a day. So we would count a portion of protein is around 20, 25. So by having 50 for breakfast, you're halfway there. Makes the rest of the day go easier. And their biggest aha moment was sleep is super important, and that eating a carb with dinner can help you sleep. Again, not that people had to do this, but we did set it up this way. With the template, there's a serving of starchy carbohydrates a day. So like 1 cup, which is about 50 grams of carbs. And we would, as a default, have it with the dinner.
Yeah.
And we did that because there is benefits to eating carbs before bed, especially when you're dieting and you're getting less calories overall. So it can help our body produce serotonin, which is a happy hormone, and cascades into eventually maybe producing melatonin and helping us fall asleep and have more restful sleep. And we had a bunch of people comment that they slept really well during this whole challenge by doing that. And we actually have a whole training and free PDF in the Facebook group that we did on carbs and sleep. So if you're interested, you can get that in there. It goes into more detail. But yes, we always want to try to maximize our sleep.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
Here we go. Next one. This person lost 13 pounds. And their biggest win was learning that it is, capital is, truly possible for my body to lose weight.
It's powerful.
After been trying for years.
Yeah. And that happens to a lot of people.
And you know what? This is why we love doing this challenge. And it is a challenge because of the template, it is a lot up front, but it's a challenge, right? So, but we want people to experience some quick early wins and that we know. So most people end up thinking, because we aren't aware and we always want to shift blame, that, man, maybe it's just something wacky with us, right? And I can't lose weight and I try. But the reality is it's so easy to eat too many calories.
Yeah.
It's so convenient and easy. So
There's
when we
food everywhere.
Yeah. So when we do these things, people will see weight loss, right? And if someone's been stuck for years, that may be all they need to be like, you know what? Like, man, I was just eating too much. And now they see the scale going down. They're doing these things and they're like, oh, I can do this.
It lets someone know like they're in control. Like I can make an impact on this. And so they're empowered to keep doing it, like moving forward.
Yep.
Versus thinking like, I've done everything. There's nothing I can do. Something's wrong. I'm just not made to lose weight or whatever it is. It's the flip side. So then they know they can do it, and they're hopefully more likely to continue on what they started.
And their biggest aha moment from the challenge was, I was truly eating often for emotions and not just for fuel, as I genuinely thought. So again, like we just mentioned, you can trick yourself into hey, I'm doing the right things, right?
Or thinking like, oh, I need this.
Yeah.
I need this to fuel myself. When like, no, you're just bored or sad or whatever,
like
whatever it may be.
Yeah. Then they continued on. Journaling and being mindful of what I was doing made the whole set of choices way more visible. Changes felt good even though they were tough at first. Realizing I was dull and could enjoy meals because I knew they were healthy and have one treat when I wanted was pretty big too. So I think essentially what they're saying there is like there's some trade-offs, right? Like it's okay to have some dull meals, but knowing, especially when you kind of, hey, I can have this treat, or in this situation, like these fun calories, however people want to use them. So yeah, there you go. So this person obviously had it click big time. They've been trying for years and had been stuck and then lost 13 pounds. And look at all these things they learned from awareness.
Yep.
That, hey, you know what? I was emotional eating a lot.
And without taking a good hard look at it, it's hard to know
Yeah.
you're doing that.
Next one, this person lost 7 pounds, and their biggest win was to really ask themselves why I'm eating. Their biggest aha moment: protein. I know I need it, but it was so evident when I could reach the protein goal. And they still struggle with that some. But again, I think what they're saying is that, like, when they hit the protein goal, they probably were more satiated and things went easier and well. And it's helpful. But as you see, it's not like this stuff ever just, it clicks and it's easy and then you just skip off.
Yeah.
It's always a challenge. You're always working against it because, again, the things that help us, high volume foods, protein, avoiding mindless snacking, we have to work for those.
Yeah, their effort.
Because our normal environment is the opposite of that.
It's just availability.
Foods and snacks are always available. Yeah. High energy density foods. Low volume foods are not.
Easy foods,
So it's typically always going to be a grind.
It gets easier the longer you do it, but it's still easier to grab a Hot Pocket and put it in the microwave. So.
Yeah. Next person, they lost 3 pounds. Biggest win: I cut out a lot of snacking. Biggest aha moment: this isn't too hard. And maintaining a routine. Yep. And that's one thing we talk about in the challenge with the group is you want these habits. You want a base. You want hey, this is my base routine that you fall back on. So yeah, you may go to Vegas and have a trip for a weekend. That's cool. But then when you come back on Monday, you get back to your base. Whereas a lot of times we have no routine, we have no base, and then we just fall back to vacation eating around the clock.
Yeah. So then you're vacation eating at home.
Yeah. Yep. Which means grabbing what's convenient, which is going to be high energy density foods and snacks and things like that. Let's see, man. We could.
You could go all
day.
We'll
go through a few more here. We're only at entry 50, so we've only been through 15 of them. Here we are. This person lost 23, 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds. Their biggest win was, I've always been kind of a health nut, but I can honestly say this challenge was good for me. It really made me take a closer look at the foods I eat. Some of them not healthy at all, right? And again, sometimes, and I'm guilty, and it's a convenient way to say this, like labeling foods as not healthy or healthy. And what I would imagine she ran into was, you realize that some of the foods you eat are super calorically dense.
Like, this isn't serving me like some other things are.
Everything can if it's portioned right. Again, and you can't even make these nuanced or blanket statements because everything is so nuanced. As far as this food is healthy, this food is not, because again, we typically would refer to a food being unhealthy because maybe it has a low amount of nutrients and a high amount of calories.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what most people mean by that.
Which is true, I would say, in that form, but at the same time, say someone's 26 years old and they're a high-level athlete and they need to consume a lot of calories to even maintain their weight, and if they lose their weight, it puts them at danger.
Yeah.
In an unhealthy amount.
In that case, those Pop-Tarts are healthy, baby.
Yeah, those Pop-Tarts, that white rice. So these foods that are maybe low nutrient density, high calories, you actually need those foods to help support what you're trying to do and stay in a healthy range.
Yeah.
So in that situation, that's gonna be helpful.
Yeah, it's a beneficial food.
So it's all context dependent.
Yeah.
So in this person's biggest aha moment, I never really paid attention to caloric intake, so it was very eye-opening to understand the calories contained in the foods I eat. So yeah, I would imagine them being a self-proclaimed health nut, they probably learned a lot of the foods they were eating were very high in calories, which, hey, there can be very healthful foods, tons of nutrition, but if we eat too much, we eat too much, right? You got it. So you want to learn those things. This person here lost 6 pounds. Their biggest win was having a solid goal with a plan, made me fully focused and staying on track. It allowed me the opportunity to set myself up for success while also providing a system for fixing any mishaps, like overindulgence with holiday foods. So, think about this. Again, we want to reinforce this. They overindulged on holiday foods in moments, but lost 6-7 pounds overall.
Because their base was good
And you don't
had awareness.
Yeah, and you don't need to be perfect. Their biggest aha moment was seeing the scale as a friend, albeit a brutally honest one, rather than an enemy to hide from. It's like having a touchstone to keep you grounded.
That's exactly what it is. That's such a good way to put it.
Yep. My scale is linked to an app that allows me to track my weight, muscle mass, and fat ratios. I'm sure it's not 100% accurate, but it's a great visual tool to keep track. And yeah, and here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's 100% accurate to the reality. But the thing is, if you're consistent with it,
You'll see progress.
You'll see progress, but also that will be accurate, right? So even if you step on this thing and it tells you you're 200 pounds, 20% body fat, and then whatever the fat muscle ratios work out from that, and say that's completely off and you're actually 206 pounds and 24% body fat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's technically not 100% accurate, but then the reality is if you're consistent with it and then you lose, say, 2% body fat and 6 pounds over some time,
You still did that.
that is accurate.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And you're being mindful and consistent with it. So that's the way you want to look at these things.
And that's why we always encourage you to use like the same scale.
Yeah.
Because 2 scales can be 5 pounds off.
Yeah.
And then you won't see progress because you're bouncing between these 2 scales that are not the same.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Who cares what the exact numbers
Yeah.
are? We're not relating our...
All you care about is the needle moving.
Yes.
That's it.
And the progress you're trying to make, not attaching our self-worth to a specific number. So that was a good one.
That is a good one.
Then we have, next up, they just keep rolling through here, 6 pounds lost. Biggest win, feeling great, having energy through the day, and feeling strong for my workouts at the gym. Their biggest aha moment, how important it is to get more protein in my diet. It really made a difference in how I feel. So much better. Yeah.
That's why we push it, you know?
Yeah. And with protein, like, look, we're going to get our fats and carbs. Like,
Yeah, there's no bones about
those
it.
are kind of what make food taste good and dry, and they're energy nutrients. Our body prefers to use them for energy and things. Look, there's no getting around this. There's protein is amino acids. There's 9 essential amino acids. Our body cannot make them. We must get them from food. It uses these to do things the body needs to do.
Build us. Like,
So if we don't get those, we're not going to feel great.
No.
Right? And then you factor in if you're active and all this and realize the suggested protein amount is just for like to prevent deficiency, the 50, 60
to fade away.
grams a day. That's like just to prevent, not to thrive, not
Of
to be
a,
optimal.
like, not a highly active human being either.
Yeah.
So if you're, you work out 3 days a week and you walk daily, your requirements are higher than just what it takes to be a,
Not
not
waste away.
active human that's trying to survive.
And the reality is most people we meet with aren't even hitting the 50, man.
I know.
On a daily basis. And your body doesn't store
No.
protein.
No,
like
you got it. You need a screen.
it's day over day.
Yeah.
And yeah, people across the board normally feel better. And you're going to have to go out of your way to get it. Because again, it's not as flavorful, right? So anytime you go to get anything convenient, they're in the business of tasty food.
Yeah.
But what you'll find all of a sudden is, hey, when you're getting enough protein, you're actually more satisfied, right? And there's a whole theory which has some good stuff behind it. It's not completely proven, but it's like the protein leverage theory or something like that.
I think that's what it's called.
Where it kind of like we'll have cravings until we get enough protein. This is why a lot of times like you could consume plenty of calories, get the calories you need, but why am I still hungry? Why am I still starving?
Because
and
your
it's
body's
like,
still trying to find protein in what you're eating.
it's essentially trying to seek out these amino acids, and that's why a lot of times, again, it's part of the theory. People always have sugar cravings and sweet cravings. You could actually be craving protein because what people don't realize, when you break down these individual amino acids from protein, say you had them specifically in just that form, they're typically sweet.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, that's how a lot of artificial sweeteners are made from amino acids.
Yeah, it's weird.
Right. So a sweet craving could actually just be a protein craving, right? And then all of a sudden, and we see it across the board. We tell people then to eat 100 grams of protein. They're like, I'm stuffed. I can't. It's like, well, you were eating 3,000 calories before. We're asking you to eat 400 calories worth of protein, and it's a chore.
Yeah.
That's the magic of it. Now it's all.
That's why we do it.
It's like a switch flips. Oh, I'm freaking satisfied and stuffed.
Yeah.
But you're eating way less calories. So, again, it's not necessarily proven, but as far as working with people in the real world,
I do think there's something to it, though.
we see it like a light. It works like that,
Yeah.
So, I am a fan of the protein leverage theory.
Yeah.
From my anecdotal, workings with.
I mean, yeah, with ourselves
people.
and working with people
Yeah.
across the years.
So then we have here another one. This person, 9 pounds, and their biggest win from the challenge was learning to balance during the toughest time of the year. Learning balance during the toughest time of the year to balance. Biggest aha moment. Mindless snacking counts.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's sum up the whole thing with that.
Yeah. So this person, again, super social, holiday season, and they lost 9 pounds and still got to indulge in these holiday things. And this person specifically probably learned, it's not like this holiday meal that's the problem, this big meal.
Nah.
It's the mindless snacking
the
all
in-betweens.
throughout during the week.
On your regular routine
Yep.
days.
The randomness. Another one. Next up, 7 pounds, 174 to 167. Biggest win, paying attention to intake and making sure I have enough protein intake. Biggest aha moment, the amount of protein needed to remain feeling full. It really works. Exclamation point, smile emoji.
Take that.
Yeah.
Chew on that.
It does. It does. And just so y'all know, we've done so many challenges through the gym and over the years. We landed on, and again, like this has been refined over the years.
Chipping away at this sculpture.
17 years, and now when we ran this challenge in August this way, we had, I think like this was 67. We had like 87, 90. And same thing, dude. Like, actually, the weight loss was a little more.
Yeah.
It wasn't holidays. It was like 4.4 pounds per person. But same thing. And almost everyone lost weight. More, and it's just really cool to see these things work.
Yeah.
And again, not that it's easy and that people can just turn the page and do these things, but ultimately, if people need to have majority whole food, protein, veggie focused meals.
And then awareness through your day.
Yeah, you should be mindful, no mindless snacking, and kind of have this budget. Be very hyper aware of these extras.
Yeah, mindful snacking, so to speak.
Weigh in every day and walk every day. Like, that's the base. And if you do these things, you will lose weight. You don't need to train harder.
No.
You don't need to train insane. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need these magic foods.
You don't need to do an extreme diet.
You don't need to not eat this specific food because it just piles on body weight.
This food doesn't agree with me.
No.
It makes me gain weight. That's false.
No. You need protein, veggies. Be mindful.
Yeah.
Walk and weigh in.
Yeah.
Aware-
There's no magic to it. It's executing all of those basic things day in and day out.
Yep.
That's it.
And that's the challenge. Day in, day out. You can't then fall. And yeah, like
You got to do it. You got to do the boring stuff.
And it's gonna mean saying no to things. It's mean saying no to extra handfuls of whatever your fun food was, and to putting these parameters and guardrails around it. It's gonna, to maybe some time doing extra TV time because you got to prep some of these proteins because you can't get them nowhere else.
Yeah.
But this is it. This is the process. This works.
And you know what, though? The more you do it, the easier it gets for the most part.
Yep.
Like if you talk to people that have, done these base things for a long time, they become a little more effortless.
Yeah.
Like we've done this for a while. Dude, like getting my protein in, getting my walks in, training 3 days a week, like all of those things but they're just routine. And it's not like they take a whole lot of willpower to do. Like I'm going to do them.
Yep.
And having that base, it just allows you a little more freedom too.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we'll go through 3 more. Just so you know, we're only at entry. We have 43 more.
Yeah. we don't have time.
But
for
this
43
is
more.
so fun, man. It's like one of my favorite parts.
I know.
Is
Well, you get to
reading
see the
through these.
real implications and the results of what
Yeah.
people did.
Here we go. This person lost 7 pounds. Biggest win, paying attention. It's logging my planned snack foods, being consistent, weighing in every morning. So yeah, if they said if I had to boil it down to one thing, it's being consistent. Like Will said, doing it day in, day out. Their biggest aha moment was every day I liked knowing that it was okay to have a snack that was not particularly healthy and I'd still lose weight. Sometimes I wasn't even looking for anything. It was just knowing that it wouldn't break the bank. Dude, and that's huge right there. That's why we purposely have that as an anchor and tell people to do it. Like, have these fun calories. Make things not off limits. Because when you do, like what happens when you tell a 7-year-old you can't have something?
You want it even more.
You want it more. And what we've learned is when you don't tell anyone that, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
on
they're
them.
like,
It's just all a mental psychology.
If I want it, I can have it. It's no scarcity. There's no weird thing about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Here's one where they gained a pound. Their biggest win from the challenge was I was able to maintain and not gain another 5 to 10 pounds, even with the numerous parties, dinners, and get-togethers. What was your biggest aha moment from the challenge? I don't have a good enough grasp on my nutrition yet. And since I'm used to not eating a normal 3 meals a day, I have to be very mindful of the portions and extras when I do. I mean,
that's a win though.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's huge. That's awesome. And again, it's the holiday season.
Yeah.
Right? And you bring that kind of awareness to things and learn, and you're able to reflect in that way. Super powerful. All right, we'll do one more here. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. I like this one. So this person lost 3 pounds. Their biggest win from the challenge was losing a few pounds while enjoying a trip out of town and several holiday functions.
Boom.
What was your biggest aha moment? It is okay to enjoy holiday traditions. 1, you can plan around them. 2, if you have a big day of calories and not all of the right foods, it's not going to derail everything you've done for the rest of the time. It doesn't have to be 365. It can be 360, right? So like we said, it's never these holidays. It's what's your base? What do you fall back on?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your awareness around that?
Yep.
And that, literally this one here in a nutshell is like what we want everyone to have an aha moment of. Is you don't need, it's not about perfect food. It's not about being perfect. It's not like all this good versus bad. It's just about being aware of your total intake and matching it up to what you're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah. And hopefully you enjoyed these. They're fun to go through.
And you notice the commonalities, right? Notice the things that all of them, like most of the people said the same stuff, right? They brought awareness to their day. Having the focus on protein really helped a lot of people stay full and feel better. Mm-hmm. The daily weighing. How many people eventually realized that mentally helps them stay on track? It's almost like someone said, a touchstone. I like that a lot. Like you just recheck in every morning, right? You're going back to the base, touch in, and it's almost like renewing your habits. Like, I'm going to do this again today because I just did my weight and this is where I'm at, and it just keeps you on track. And I dig that.
Yep. Good stuff. And if you're interested, you went in next time we do a challenge, which will be in the spring, free challenge, $500 prize winner.
Yeah.
Shout out to Terry Conlon. She won this time.
Boo, boo.
And it's not, we don't do it like whoever loses the most weight. No. We want to reward the
daily stuff.
Progress over perfection and daily stuff. So you get a point or raffle ticket, quote unquote, for we have a little daily check-in. We'll have some other little things where you can earn points. But essentially you could fall off for 3 weeks, only do it for a week, and have seven entries, right?
Yeah, and it just lets people not be quote unquote perfect and still make progress and do well.
So join our Facebook group, Fat Loss Secrets for Busy Adults. That's where we do the challenges, other stuff throughout, weekly things, lives, all that. We also have one-on-one nutrition coaching, you can reach out to us about, as well as we are piloting a group nutrition coaching program that's similar to this challenge, a little more intensive. It kind of builds on it, that we're going to be trying out for January. So reach out as well
so
if
you're
interested in that.
that's going to be dope. So I would jump in on that.
And 2023, make this the year. Take action. Realize you don't have to be perfect. Progress over perfection. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah. We'll catch you next time, everybody.
Thanks.
As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.
For listening.